Good evening, everyone. It is a late Saturday night, and this is Terrence. I'm back from Tev's Next Idea, where I write my solo role playing blogs, and you can visit there by checking out the address in the description of this channel. Hey, hello, Digital. How you doing tonight? We are continuing with Higurashi When They Cry. Who? And the usual disclaimers. One, I'm not a voice actor, so don't expect anything special. Two, this is a visual novel, a Japanese visual novel, so there is a lot more reading than there is of any real action that's going on. But so far we've had zero action. There's been zero decisions I've had to make, but I will do my best to keep it entertaining. There might be some innuendo in the story. I can't control that, but we'll see how we go. And if you have been with us before, you'll see there is a new little thing on my screen. There's that little number to the lower left-hand corner that says 0 right now. I have decided to add a Reina counter. Reina is one of the characters in this story, and she gets embarrassed easily. And she's always turning red or doing something else to indicate her embarrassment with the conversation that's going on. So we will just count those, and every time she is, I'll just add one onto that counter there, and we'll see how it goes. So let me get into continue, and let's see where we are. The end of chapter 2. I think this is where we are. Load data, yes. And I think the last time we did this, they were my character and Reina had just gone to the dump, where I was joking around that maybe they'll find an arm, and sure enough, there was a killing there in the past, and they found, I think, all the parts except an arm or something like that. Let's see, view all the tips, make sure, yeah, we've seen all these tips already with these last time. And let's continue on, and let's see what happens. Colonel Sanders? Yeah, that's right. Reina wanted to bring home a Colonel Sanders statue from the dump, and I helped her do that. So let me turn this down in my ear a little bit. It's a little loud for me. Okay. Colonel Sanders? Ah, of course. That's right up her alley. I understand her wanting to take home Satoko and Rika-chan, but I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer? We're a little bit harsh. Colonel Sanders. Probably better to hear it from Reina, don't you think? She'll probably just say, because it's just so cute, though. Does Reina often go to the construction site to hunt for treasure? Every now and then she says she's going to have a look. But a girl her age, rumming around in garbage is, well, if Reina enjoys it, then I think it's fine. What were they doing over there? Dam construction? It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch. Ha ha ha! It was canceled a long time ago. Everyone gathered together and fought against it. Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Rika-chan's mouth startled me. Okay, that's Rika-chan. That's the other thing. Sometimes it's hard to know who is actually talking in this game. That's right. It was unbelievable. They said Hinamaziwa would be sunk into the reservoir, and we had no say in the matter. So, I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded? So, they were gonna wipe out the town. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't keep you, did I? I'm not sure who this is. My deepest apologies, Kichi-san. It took me a while to powder my nose. Satoko, wait to use the can until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since it shoots right out you. What? Eek! Eek! How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as myself? Who was she calling a maiden? If Satoko really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensued. Oh, are we gonna have another 10 minutes of conversation back and forth? Or we're gonna fade to black. Now then. Gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of our society, I bring a point to discussion. He, Kichi Meibra-kun, wishes to be included as a member in our activities. What say you? Wait a second. I'm already a member in our activities, I believe. I have been up to this point. Rena has no objection. Oh ho ho. I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task. Me and Satoko both approve. The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval. And of course, all the other students in the class just don't matter. Thank you, Digital. Yeah, I kind of had it. I knew I was 15, and I knew Mia was 15, and Rena was 1 year younger, and the other two are a bit younger than that. Doesn't change my voices. I only got so many voices inside me. A unanimous decision. Congratulations, Kichi Maibra-kun. I present you the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club. Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this? What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities under different sets of rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I prefer if you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along. You're so naive, Reina. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. So, what kind of club was it? To sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. Oh, a gaming club. Okay, that's my kind of club. Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically, this club put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use. By playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day, it seemed that, depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finishes in last place. I'll make this clear right now. We aren't playing house here. You should treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it, alright? What's wrong with just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy. The first rule of our society, aim only for first place. Going at it is half-assed just because it's a game is not allowed. So I guess we can't play games to have fun. Actually, I'm kind of in what do you call it? Group myself. I like to play to win. Rule number 2 of our society, for that reason, you are obligated to make all possible efforts. The way Satoko said it, it sounded like she was saying, use any means necessary. Of course, I will do my best too. I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying my best. Wait a second. I knew what they were trying to say, but we all know that Reina has a pretty strong right hook. Weak my butt. In a game where everybody's aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun. Huh? Alright, then I too will go all out. With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club. A word of warning, Ki-chan. Rena can get pretty nasty. This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at school? Well, of course, they got everything here at school. Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine. Complicated games would put Kichon at a disadvantage. So today, we'll play a game that you should be familiar with. How about a standard card game? Like Old Bachelor with a very ominous note in the background there. Okay, what's wrong with Old Bachelor? Alright, let's do this! Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. What? This time, the loser will be sentenced to having their face drawn on. What do you think? Whoa, whoa! It won't be oil-based paint, right? Right? Oil-based face painting with oil-based paint. Okay. That is perfect! Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. I've yet to see if these kids actually do any learning in this school. They come into the classroom, they spend like a half an hour talking. I remember when I was in school, we barely got to the classroom in time, and we had our lessons. All socialization happened outside. If it's going to be like this, then I can't lose either. Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. Well, goes to say, there's only one difference. There's no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. Ooh, it's a pretty thrilling game. That actually is an interesting little rub there. I'll take out the card now. Rena took out one card and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently. Well, it'll be pretty obvious in the end game. No way to tell at the start. But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. Because I guess I'm a sucker. They compared their cards to each one face down, all the while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't be. This deck is pretty worn out. No way. No, can everyone tell by the scratches what the card on the table is? Remember the second rule of our society. Kichi-san must try his hardest to win as well. A number of cards are quite unique, Kichi-kun. Should be able to remember them pretty quickly. Where's the fun in this? She said that so matter-of-factly. And this is why I like to sleeve my cards when I play my games. Because you can't tell what they are. In fact, I had, one of the games that I play, I used black sleeves, and I bought some, or I had two different kinds of black sleeves, and I realized right away that one was a little bit shinier than the other, so I unsleeved all of the ones out of the dull ones and made sure they were in shinies. Suits me fine. Don't think a little thing like that can be your crutch. I lashed out angrily, but I was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. Okay, I was supposed to be angry. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. This was a game of Screw Kichi-kun. If this was a test, then they were playing... Oh! With the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it! I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed. Kiki! How about I tell you your hand starting from the right? Oh, come on. What is this? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. By the way, the Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds. I resign right now. Grr. I can't tell. I can tell what they are even if you switch them around. I am out. Ugh. I thought I was prepared, but for me this brutal, just overwhelming. Demons. You're all demons. Reina isn't a demon, are you? Okay. So sorry, Kichi-kun. This is the 3 of Hearts, isn't it? I'm out. Not even a hint of mercy. Reina, even Rika-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match, this would be a much more interesting game at this point. On a deserted island, these guys would probably take it to it like fish to water. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. Okay, see, now we're describing what can be a really cool game. It's a lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest point total wins. Since Kichi finished last, he has 5 points. There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard. I think it's unfair to Kichi-kun if we don't use a new deck. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, Kichan is a man after all. I guess that's Mina. He can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for a lowly peasant to scamper home and soak their pillow in tears, don't you think? A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. Was Rika-chan's... What? Keep on fighting, yeah! Thanks to Riki-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Kichi Maibra. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Reina said. Each card has its own distinct markings that made them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple, but there's 52! 52. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory. Whoa! Great Kichi-kun, just like that! I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands or other cards, arranged them in such a way that they could be... There we go. There's brains. You can do in a homemade sleeve with your hands. But you still see the top card on the deck, so when you draw a card, you know what it is. The one with the ripped corner should be the 5. And I'm out. I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Oh, they'd better not have me pick something. When it was my turn, Satoko fanned out her cards for me. You see, I want the 7. Is it this one? I wonder about that. You won't know unless you take it. There was a bit of dismay in her expression. Like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression. I won't let that momentary lapse slip by me. I know. It's this one. Got it. 7 of spades. these sound effects make this the most intense game of Old Bachelor ever. A cheer of ooh rang out. What is this? The 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart. It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in their expressions as I was selecting a card was enough. I'm a profiler. Can't hide it from me, Ki-chan. This mark means it's the 2 of diamonds. What? She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too. Whoa! It's rare that Mi-chan gets a card wrong. No. Ki-chan, could it be you? They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch. So I put a new one on it. Are you saying he disguised it as the 2 of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit. Kichi landed a clean hit. Clap. There we go. I can have my own sound effects in. That's great, Kichi-kun. That was an incredible match, you know. You know? Having defeated the Forerunner, Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. But wait until next time. You're all going down. You're all going down. I laughed heartily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerves. Well, I'm going to end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end. That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who is at the top already and ensured victory. Even if Ki-chan gets first place this round, he'll still end up in last place overall. Don't you hate that? Of course I do. Let's have a duel. One chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it? She fell for it. A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand behind her back. The card in my right or the card in my left? Ki-chan, can you guess which hand the Joker's in? Then he wins. Okay, well, logic says, if this game does not use the Joker, and they play this game all the time so that they know what all the marks are, chances are the Joker has the least damage to it and is the most unmarked card in the bunch. When you turned around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you? If you lose, I'll show the card in the other hand. That okay? The other 3 gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of events. Alright, you got it. Mion grasped 1 card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right hand had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was. It's the Joker. It's the cleanest card of the bunch. Which one? I wonder, Ki-kun. Be careful. Yeah, of course. This is my chance for a big comeback. Looking closely on the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I hadn't seen before. See, so I know that was in the deck before. Ah, that card is... I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Okay, cool. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number that I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't the Joker. See? I'm onto this. Ooh. Excuse me. Ooh! Ki-chan thinks it's the one on the right. Will you choose that one then? Will you? The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that the card to the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. But wasn't it a bit too rash to decide based solely on Satoko's reaction? Are they really that conniving? Are they really? More carefully. Ah! I remember now. That mark, the left card. No doubt about it. The 7 of clubs. It's the 7 of clubs, I see. I've won. The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. So that meant the card on the right was the Joker. And then, just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. Someone turned the air conditioning down too cold. I would expect no less from you. There was a wave of murmurs among the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed that the right card was the Joker. Huh? What could Kichi-san possibly be saying? I mean, the left one is... Shh! Ooh! What makes you so certain that the right one isn't the Joker, Ki-chan? Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be, but I know that the one on the left is the 7 of clubs. Then, doesn't that leave the right one as the Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right? Yeah, one of those is the Joker, right? Did she put a mark in the card when they were behind her back, and that's what I am thinking? Kichi has good intuition. Huh? Rika-chan, what do you mean by... So basically, the 7 of clubs, I discarded that by matching it with Satoko's 7 of spades earlier. Okay. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. Ooh. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy pile. So that means Mion pocketed one of the discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card, and that means... I see! I get it! The left card is being disguised as the 7 of clubs, right? It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly. The Joker is the left one! It was an intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion. Being the first president of this club, I've been witness to a variety of performances. Ki-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best. That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! Hoo yeah! Still, no teachers to start the class. Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. She always likes to pet my head. She's taking a drink there. And she also looks small. I don't know how tall I am, but is she standing on her tiptoes? Huh? Rika-chan is... Rika and Satoko gaped at us, as if they had seen a ghost. What is it, Reina? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? This was fair and square. Rika only pets someone on the head to console them. What? Huh? What's the meaning of this? At that moment, Rina let out a small shriek. Kichi-kun! This is how it was! What? You know, Ki-chan, I thought you'd read into it that far. Everyone froze. No, it was just me. It was a gamble. If you had just jumped to conclusions like a little brat, then I would have lost. What? It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand. Ki-chan, you know you should take pride in this loss. She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable. It was the 2 of diamonds. Oh my goodness. You kidding me? She did what I thought she did, but it wasn't the Joker she put there. The Joker was... Oh, come on. It was a setup behind the setup. It was a sting. If I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it. I, Mion Sonozaka, as the club president, do accept Kichi Maibra's membership into our club. As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everybody let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat. Traps within larger traps. Is it like tables and smaller tables? Or larger tables? I think that's the twice I've made that comment doing this series. The match is now over. Today's victor is me, Mion Sonozaki, and our exalted loser is Kichi Maibra. Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing. When Michan pulled that little trick behind her back, I got excited thinking she's going to do it again. Oh! When Kichi-chan stopped the moment before touching the correct card, I thought he fell for it. These little wenches. He fell for it quite handily. Huh? Hey, wait! All of them knew from the start and still got so excited. Okay, didn't we know that? The whole patting you on the head to console you. You know, they knew that I was really lost. Whatever. Everyone got excited to make it more fun. You're all demons, you monsters. Then they turn into real demons. Now then, Ki-chan, it's time for your penalty. Since it's your first day participating, I'll go easy, okay? It would be a problem if you refused to come to school. The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Uh-oh. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker, and it's large and oil-based. Okay, here we go. She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized. No, no, no! I let out my death throes. Higurashi, when they cry. So like I said, a lot of minutia goes on in these games. While it did have its interest, it went on and on and on and on and didn't advance the story one bit. At least I don't think so. I could be surprised. We will see. As soon as the club activities were finished, Reina flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. Wait, I thought I helped her take that home. I guess not. So today, it was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Reina would be grateful to them. Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Oh, right. Mion would probably tell me that murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there. Over there, you know, at that damn construction site. Did something happen there? Long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same, so we can have another 5 minutes of rather dull conversation. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the dam reservoir. I would have fought as well. Probably. The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly, as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with the legislators, and as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults? Or murders? None. She promptly cut me off. The same as Reina had. Okay, what are the... Wait a second. I know there was a news story that said it was a dispute among the workers, but did these girls really kill the guy? Her word signaled the end of discussion. Tomataki-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred. But I guess I was wrong. Wait a second. We saw a newspaper that said there was a killing. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. Later. See you tomorrow. Kichi-kan, you can't wash that off until you get home. Got it? I got it. I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. Now, what do you think she drew on my face? A pair of glasses? A big old mustache? Maybe she wrote some words? We'll never know. That's the real mystery of this game. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew! Damn you, Mion. You shall rue this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to slop it on. All over your face, so you won't be able to take it off, even without a scouring pad. Or even with a scouring pad. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my room, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear, "Welcome home, Kichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay?" He can't come up with a new idea. It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work as well. Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Maibras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house? The theme of the piece this time is in the household. This is Mom. The theme of the piece this time is in the household. So it seems your dad wants to use this house as a motif. That's quite a bothersome motif. Kichi, pick up your room. It looks terrible. So sorry, I'll clean it up later. Come on, please don't use my room as the motif. Kichi, there's still some time before dinner, so please go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I don't aggravate him any further. Well, I guess I will then. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. Oh! Okay. I must say something right here. We're walking to school every day, but we have a bike. Where did this bike all of a sudden come from? Why was it not good enough to use before? I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamaziwa creep me out. If Mion or Satoko ever found out about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Reina was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure, the damn construction site. Every time I say that, it's like, not a construction site that was for a dam, but the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while, and I said I was going to help. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Again, I think the story said that I'd been to this school for a month, or I'd been in town for about a month. And I know nothing about this. This is the first time they did this club. Things aren't adding up. Tomotaki-san might be there as well, and I can have my picture taken. The only person with information about the incident that both Reina and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamazawa? That was my real intention. Walking through the woods, walking through the woods, walking through the woods, over the giant bridge. On the other side, by the dam and construction site. Junk, junk. I spotted Reina struggling up on the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Reina would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomotaki-san wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey, Reina! Looks like you're working up a sweat. Whoa, Kichi-kun! What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? You brought me here yesterday. I see. She was aware of it, at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where is the injured party? Huh? Huh? Accident? Huh? Yeah, brainless. But there was a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Huh? Oh, that. You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Kichi-kun. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. You came for me? Oh! Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Reina blush at least once a day, I'm not getting my daily nutritional intake. Ding! There's one. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So, huh? What part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So, where is Colonel Sanders? Sorry. Can't you see him in that gap? He's really buried in there. The Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials, like they were caging him inside. Trap the Colonel. According to Reina, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. And what, they didn't take the Colonel Sanders? You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders, so cute! What Colonel Sanders is she talking about? That's so cute. There's a chain on Colonel Sanders at the store. This one, though, I should be able to take this one home. Oh! Oh, she wants to steal Colonel Sanders from the store. And once again, what do the parents think about this? If Reina gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. A klepto? As Reina's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. Reina blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Kichi-kun, I'll help too. Let me help. You just get in the way, so stay back. Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside. I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out there, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there, I needed that chicken. After grandstanding like that in front of Reina, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed. If I was going to do this seriously, I'd need an axe or something. Okay. That's enough, Kichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm just doing it for you, Reina. Don't worry about it. Reina began sputtering and turned beet red. Oh, whoops. I meant to say that I was trying my best as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Raina patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Just the thing to quench the thirst. Barley tea. Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Raina took off running. And this is when the murderer comes. The cries of the Higurashi cicadas gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Raina was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I discovered earlier. Ahead. There was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not so reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. It was just as Tomotaki-san said, if it was just as Tomotaki-san said, then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. Huh? These are troubled times. There is no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well, such as game makers. So it had to be recorded somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. Okay, why would there be magazines out here that actually had that story in it? This could just be some stuff that people threw away. Also, his description earlier made it sound like they were different types of magazines. I don't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Raina had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Okay, is this a Japanese thing? I mean, do they have news stories in dirty magazines? Or am I just confused? Both Raina and Mion said they didn't know, but it had happened without a doubt. As long as Tomitaki-san wasn't lying. Then if both Raina and Mion... yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Raina nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamazawa dam worker lynching. Murder by dismemberment. We've heard this story. Here it is. Oh! Now wait a second. The featured article was in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Raina could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in cameras flashing. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare in the Hinamazawa construction site. Lynching and murder dismemberment. So I guess this was the article that we had looked at in the what they call it, the tips or whatever earlier. But I don't know why they showed that to us first if we just found it now. Unless those are kind of like a foreshadow of what's coming up. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as it happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was... The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces: the head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally, a lynching is just an assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder done by a group of people with hatchets and pickaxes, with an axe. Ah! Eek! Sorry. She's changed clothes. Did I startle you? Raina dropped the axe she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice. That's right. As for an axe, she went to get an axe. Maybe. Oh, 4 little girls killed the people. Kichi-kun, you see, earlier, you said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you? So then I brought an axe for you from the shed. Rena fluttered her arms in panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I had been glaring at her pretty intensely, scared she was going to chop my freaking head off. I'm sorry. I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. No, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Plus, it gives us a reason to come back here in the next part of the game. Doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. I have an axe. You brought it after all. I have to borrow it tomorrow, all right? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? Just like everyone wants to do. You're right. I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with barley tea Raina brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Dun, dun, dun. Do we get it? Yes. Higurashi, When They Cry. Oops. Okay, it's dimming. Please go. You have received new tips. That is great, because we were almost at the hour mark. Let's see. One man's trash. Help Raina find her treasure. That is the thing I just got. View new tips. Let's see. What new tips do we have? Oh, okay. The Himizawa Dam Project. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin number 30, Hinamizawa's electrical development master plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam will have incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa, like saving it from being sunk underwater? Oh, no, from sunking it underwater. That's right. The flooded area caused the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa, Takatsuru, Kiyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yagochi. The submerged area includes 291 houses. Population, 1,251, 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural complex, forestry department, lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and a partridge in a pear tree, and a fishery. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural places and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. But All the fish in the fishery are going to be set free, and they're going to love it. So I think we should do this. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having their homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the, Onagafuchi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted, and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government refused, and its puppet company, 50? That's really XXXXX, openly refused. Or is that just a redaction? Performing unspeakable, heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of that frightening Hinamazawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. Yay! The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity. The Onagafuchi Defense Alliance had been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered have not been extinguished. Thanks, digital. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into the lake basin. Onagafuchi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Kichiro Kimiyoshi. Yeah, I think people just need to tune in to hear me try to pronounce all these names and all these words. They were meant to be read, not spoken. Now, we'll see what this next one looks like. See what's actually in these magazines. Cover your eyes. Nightmare befalls the Hinamazawa Dam. Lynching and murder dismemberment. We've read about this. In X month of X day in X prefecture at the Hinamazawa Dam construction worksite in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Okay, more pronunciation there. Kaiichi? Okay. I've just been saying Kichi, like, K-E-I-I, Ki, and then Chi, Keiichi. Okay. Also, I wonder if they are making these universal anytime, and they don't want to, all these X's, they don't want to put the name of a company in case, at some time there is a real company by the name they use. What? Oh, I think my tablet just said something to me. Okay. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamazawa Dam? They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to homicide. Or homicide. Homicide is when you kill your house. So said the aforementioned Investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. Well, when you dismember it, Exxon had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first, it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, XX, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciousness of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. XX had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Oneness in death. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. XX had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound was what it meant. Thus, an imaginal bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but XX threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up on his objections. Meanwhile, on the facing page of this magazine is a pretty woman, half-dressed, but X's plan collapsed in the span of one night. Triple X, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital when he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle, and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader's XX whereabouts are still unknown. Still unknown today? Also, the right arm hidden by XX has yet to be found. See, I think this is all beginning to build up to the reason we're in this story. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that XX has said that he was going to throw the body, or the right arm, into the marsh. XX's car was discovered and abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. XX didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police and use his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could have escaped to. Yeah, but within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. Okay, the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onagafuchi, the Ogre's Abyss, and it is said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. So that's where the girls live. The atrocious demon from hell, that was XX. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? That was a very cheerful ding for such a gruesome telling. The Zin Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune. Prosperous future. Ladies leaping into your arms. Business success. Promotions. Ambition. Protection from harm. Not just with Pacino and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Zin Dragon Blacet DX One Piece. Different game. 27,800 yen. I guess that was an ad at the bottom of the story. Okay. Well, there you go. Still, no decisions to be made. Hopefully one comes. Yes, Digital, who you wanted me to play this. I'm sure it does get interesting. To tell everyone, when I kind of started this, I thought this was like a Telltale game where each of these chapters was about like 2 hours long. And then earlier this week, I was on How to Beat and realized that each one of these chapters in this series are like somewhere between like 8 to 13 hours. So we're in this for a while, and we should have some fun. So I think that's about it for tonight. There is a lot of buildup. Yes, you're right. I think same thing when we played Doki Doki Literature Club. Uh, yeah, the first we had the dumb idea there of everyone had a different voice, and we all we all narrated it when it was our turn. And I think 75% of that game was just going through like this. Daily, day at school, we're going to write poems, we're going to talk a lot, we're going to take people home, and then, oh yeah, we're going to hang ourselves, it took a while to really get started. And then, of course, it had a good ending, but we'll see what this has a lot of build-up. Okay, so once again, I am Terrence. I am at Tev's Next Idea. You can find the address for that in the description, as well as my other site, halfair.com. That is where I write faith-based articles. Yes, I am a Christian playing games. So I invite you to read some stuff there. And I'll see you next time. As always, these are just kind of spur-of-the-moment sessions. I don't really plan them out yet. I do have my regular gaming, tabletop gaming session next Saturday, so I won't be broadcasting next Saturday, but maybe I'll come on one day this week. We'll see. Anyway, so for Tev's Next Idea and Higurashi, When They Cry Who? This is Terrence. Thanks for watching.